we go. So, today is a day that I didn't expect to stream. I knew that it was getting built up. Hear what I'm saying? It was getting built up. How could I know that? How could I recognize that something is pushing me in that direction? How can I acknowledge that, wait, does the world function in such a way that it's intentionally guiding us down specific paths to make us either operate a certain way, view things a certain way, or do set things at a specific time? Because what would that cause? What would that cause? What if I needed to stream 3 hours ago? Because if I would have streamed 3 hours ago and discussed a specific topic that was being pushed to me, that was being encouraged to me, that was being prompted to me, that I was experiencing things related to, and then I would talk about that. Well, if I talk about something for, let's just say, 2 hours, my inclination will change. The way I think about things will change. The way I operate, the way I function, my willingness, my consideration, my care, or my lack of will be different. And at no point am I saying for bad or for negative. Most likely for good, for positive. I will be only more helpful, more caring, willing to make things more challenging. I'm fully light. I want to explore. I want to help. I want to do so many things. So what if something else in this world had been pushing and guiding something else at this time to start walking a different path? They were getting seasoned and encouraged and pushed to do activities that make them feel a set way that will lead them to do something. So let's say, for example, in this case, be on one of these social media websites like YouTube or LinkedIn where I stream, and they will actually be willing to listen to my talk and consume my talk at this time. See, like normally they don't do that, but today they got pushed to do things like that because they're like, I should consume more stuff like that makes me think. I haven't been really exploring complex topics. I haven't really been trying to develop myself and push myself as much. So, I'm going to I don't know what's really out there right now because I haven't really been exploring that path in months, but I want to do that again today. And maybe a few days ago, they had previously interacted with some of the things that I write about and talk about, and they thought it was interesting, but it was a little bit too much for them because, again, they're not on that path of exploring complexity. It's just like, they're like, oh, it's too much, but they thought it was interesting, but that was all. So they moved it to the side. But then today, see, I haven't streamed in maybe a month, let's just say. I do it, right? Because I got pushed and encouraged to do so. But it's at a specific time. At the time period when that individual, or let's say that girl, was encouraged to be on the website. That's when she uses the website, and that is when she's going to be willing to maybe watch or listen to what I'm creating, what I'm going to talk about, so she can actually see how I interact, what I think about, all these stuff like that. So you see, if I don't do it at that specific time, well then that girl who went on that website and now is like, well, let's see, I want to consume something, but I don't really know what. I'm open to things. And she's just exploring, searching, waiting, kind of seeing what's being suggested, what appears before her. And something else appears before her, or maybe nothing actually catches her eye, because you see, they were intending for her to consume my talk, my content, my knowledge, my experience, because perhaps they knew that either how it's going to make her feel or the things that I talk about are going to lead her to maybe develop new things or to create new things or take new angles or maybe just finally take the next step in something. But you see, that means that if I don't do it at that specific time and she's there and she's like, well, there's really nothing interesting right now here. I shouldn't force myself. What am I doing? I know this. Like, why am I forcing myself to try to consume complex knowledge? I know that I want to do that more, but I shouldn't force it because you see, then it's not going to be good. So she decides to just leave the websites. She doesn't actually end up consuming anything. So you see a path got built up within her to start exploring more complexity, to start developing more content and knowledge her own way, and that will push her to be more than who she is today. And that was the path that she was going on. But then all of a sudden, see, my chess piece was going to be the next push, the final push for her to take a leap and to continue developing and continue doing something. But you see, because I recognized and acknowledged and saw that I was getting a path was God created for me, and I was being encouraged to do something at a specific time, that I decided I'm not going to do it. But you see, what if at the same time, simultaneously, the same thing was happening to that girl, and they wanted her to go on this website so that she would bump into my stuff with the lens that they had intended, so that maybe she might consider things. But you see, I might never even talk to her. She might not even talk to me. But you see, I ended up helping her. Because you see, I think when people hear me talk about these kind of things, they worry, or they think that I'm just implying that it's always because maybe the reason why they set up events to happen simultaneously like that, so that things intersect, is because maybe one is going to get a personal benefit for it. It's like, maybe she might end up dating. No, it's not even that. Sure, but that's not actually the focus. What I'm saying is that what the nudges that I present, that I bring, maybe the way I dress, maybe the way I carry myself, maybe the way I talk, maybe the things that are in my background, maybe the music that I'm listening to, maybe my shepherd talisman, maybe my bracelets, maybe how I did my hair today, intentionally more messy and a different approach. It doesn't matter, but maybe it's just the knowledge itself. You see, it doesn't actually matter. But all of those things could be what she needed at this time to continue down the path, the river that they had been creating for her, that they wanted her. And I'm not saying that, for example, everything that I talk about is meant for good, is meant to make people question, is make people develop, is make people to heal, make people develop, to learn how to create their own way and to keep doing their own way, to try to operate freely. So you see, maybe she actually might have started operating more freely for the first time in years. Maybe she has been trapped and confined for like 10, 15 years, and because of what I'm doing and what I've done and what she was going to experience from me, then maybe she was finally going to reach temporary freedom. And that's what we're really talking about today. But it doesn't exist. Freedom does not exist, but temporary freedom. And it would have been for the first time forever, and she would feel so great. And now she's gonna be like, wow, I need to keep doing this. I need to keep exploring these paths. I need to keep doing stuff like this. I need to keep, you see, so people are like, well, is that really a bad thing? And I'm like, no, that sounds great, doesn't it? So they're like, then what's the problem? I'm like, you don't think it's absolutely horrific that something is planning all of those things to happen? The timing, the topics, all the things that are going to be presented, so that then it affects the next individual in the exact way that they intended. Why are you all okay with that? Why do you all accept that? What makes that acceptable? What makes that acceptable? That means that whatever you're walking toward at this moment is completely 100% not only predetermined, planned to the minuscule little dust speck that you're going to encounter. People are like, but what if I get good? Sure, but what if you get bad? Oh, well, yeah, well then, you see, now if you are walking the exact intended path with the timing, with the seasoning, and you're now affecting every other variable precisely the way they intended, do you see that immediately the only thing that now matters is the result? Immediately, the only thing that now matters is the result. Do we see that if we walk a predetermined path that something else is setting up for us, the only question that we now care about, well, is like, am I going to get something good or bad? Okay, I'll walk the path if I'm going to get a beautiful, hot, intelligent girl, and she's going to start like consuming my stuff, and we're going to start talking, and we're going to start dating, and it's going to be great. Well then, sure. And she's willing to break free and consume all this stuff and push herself, and she wants to explore the world, and she wants to figure out how to create a world without money. Oh yeah, well, in that case, cool. Yeah, I'll walk their predetermined path. Sure. Oh, we get to have kids too? Oh, then most definitely I'm going to walk that predetermined path. But what if that only happens after your first 5 children that you have all are killed and murdered? People are like, whoa. I'm like, exactly. I'm trying to do a harsh intro to make people consider this differently. What if the first 5 children you have are killed, murdered, stolen? Well, it doesn't matter. But then all the good happens from this predetermined path. You see, all of a sudden now it changes. Now people are like, well, yeah, is there a way? Did I make a mistake? Can I prevent? Oh, so now you aren't satisfied with the predetermined path that something is laying out for you. Interesting. You mean that all of you only accept it if good is going to be given to you. Interesting. Very interesting. So now, in that situation, you guys are like, well, yeah, then I'm not okay with that. How can I stop that path? Can I prevent it? Can I change it? Can I modify? Maybe I shouldn't walk. I don't want my first 5 children to be killed. What? And then my first kid that I can finally have raise and be with is my 6th? What? No, I don't want to experience that. I'm like, so now you'd want to ruin that story. Now you'd want to prevent that story. Now you'd want to see if you could walk your own path. So you mean that if we learned what would happen, we wouldn't be satisfied with the predetermined path. Unless it's only positive. I'm saying, guys, is that if you even take the first step to consume and understand every piece of knowledge that I've talked about over the last 2.5 years through the Star Diplomat, Shepherd Star, my YouTube channel or my LinkedIn, all my content, and you decipher it and you try to explore it and you try to make it your own, that you're going to come to develop the same skill sets that I have. Maybe not to the same degree, but it's going to be sufficient. And what is that skill set? Is that you can see what is being created before it's even created. So that means that all of you worry so much about, well, how could I know what the path is going to be? And I'm saying, guys, it doesn't matter. Because you already know. You know what they're trying to create. You know what bad they're trying to make happen. You know what good they're trying to make happen. So you see, then people are like, well, then I could decide, right? And I'm like, wrong. Because you see, you can only see, you can see that the what they're planting, the seeds. You can see the middle event, and you can kind of see the end outcome. And you're 99% of the time correct. But the problem is that you don't see all the in between. Think of it like between a destination from point A to point B. You see, I might know what happened right before. I know what's going to happen. The monuments, the landmarks, Xenoblade or something like that are going to happen on the way there. And then I know the final location that we're trying to reach. But you see, what if in between landmark 1 and 2, there's like, I don't know, a flying ant that magically sprouts 26 horns, but it actually is friendly and makes the sound of a cat and wants to be fed. People are like, whoa, that's so cool. And actually it lets us fly on it, and it takes us to like some sky mountain where we can encounter an old man that has 72 legs, and he decides to give us peanuts. And not only are they super healthy, they're really good. They're the best peanuts we've ever had in our entire life. And then he shows us that there's actually like some thermal springs, and there's a pool that tricks tourists not to go into it because the first step is freezing cold, so everyone runs out. Then if you keep walking, the water just gets perfect. It acclimates to us, and everything just calms down and is perfect. And people are like, wait, what? All this is going to happen? I'm like, no, not likely. because most people would see the ant with 26 horns and all that stuff, and they wouldn't agree to fly on its back to the sky mountain. They would avoid it because they're like, oh, ants are bad. So you see, they would never experience that. They would never even understand it. They would never even see that that's a reality. They would never come to understand the vision. They would never come to appreciate the design of something. They could never even consider that. Because before they started walking, they got presented a reminder that an ant hurt them when they were 7 years old. So now when they see the ant, they're like, ooh, be careful, guys. Ants can hurt you. And that's it. But wait, hold on. Rewind the clocks. We were just caring about the landmarks and getting to the end location, point B, whatever that is. Why do we even care at all about the ant and all this stuff? So you see, what I'm saying is, we don't know those parts. Those are the parts that we don't know, because those are the moments where freedom can exist. But you see, those are all the moments that freedom, like there are birds that their wings were clipped. They ripped off the wings of the heart. Lely de Principio, they ripped off the wings from the ant. So now when anyone shows up to the ant, even if they're friendly to the ant, it can't take them to the sky mountain anymore. They can't, because it doesn't have wings. So you see, that's essentially what happens, but usually the wings get clipped metaphorically, mentally, because people, when they experience this ant, they view it either positively or negatively. So you see, what I'm saying is that it's predetermined, the result on our path from point A to point B. If all of us got pre-seasoned or only had good experiences with ants, well, we're going to be like, oh my gosh. And the last time we explored somewhere, we rode on a griffin in Fancy Star Line, and we went to the stars, and it was freaking awesome. And the tornadoes healed us. They didn't hurt us. You're like, whoa. So they're like, yeah. And so this time, if there's an ant and there's like another creature that wants to take us on an adventure, always say yes, guys. It's worth it. I promise you. So you see, I'm telling you is that you're not free. People are like, but that's a good thing. You're going to explore that. You're going to have the old man peanut encounter and find that cool thermal water spring. And is that a bad thing? And I'm like, irrelevant. The experience actually, if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. You see, like, I'm not grading if it was a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying we're not free. I'm just saying we're not free. I'm just saying we're not free. Because what if I wanted you to go to that thermal springs and meet that old man that gives the peanuts? Because there's going to be a really intelligent girl that you consider as beautiful. And while she's going to not get scared off by the cold water because she knew how to talk to the old man. And he gave her the information because he only gives it to people he trusts and sees that they know and can see more and they understand more. So she walks into the pool and everyone else is like, she's crazy. And you walk in there and you're eating peanuts and you sit there and she's like, so you didn't get tricked either, huh? And you see now a conversation starts and positives begin. And I'm not saying that you're going to date her. I'm not saying that anything like that. But do you guys see that? What if I wanted you to bump into her? But hear what I'm saying. What if I wanted you to bump into her? I'm not saying it's not organic. It didn't just happen. Hey, you know what? I'm going to explore today. And I go to that area with the thermal spring with the old man. And no one's there. I have a great time. And maybe another timeline I did, and someone's there, and you see, like, the girl's there, and it doesn't matter, but I might actually decide not to go in there, even if she's there, or I might. But you see, it's all in the moment. It's just choices and choices and choices that are being made per moment, and there's no predetermined outcome. But what I'm saying, guys, is that for days, for weeks, for hours, depending on how serious of a storyline modification that is being created, Because people are like, am I getting enslaved? Is there a whip? And I'm like, there is, but you see, people always just view it as the negatives. I'm saying it's not just the negatives. If I wanted you to bump into her in that location at a specific time, I'm going to start already guiding both of them down that path. So that then when the moment happens that could potentially lead to an intersection, is that both are going to make the decision that can continue down the path. There's a I would say less than 1% chance that either one will deviate from the path that got created for them. So what I'm saying is that every single interaction that everyone is having today, every single conversation that gets I'm not saying like randomly people are like, oh wow, did you hear that sound? Like that's not organic either, but I'm saying that like a full, hey, today we want to talk about these topics. I'm saying that none of that is organic. All of that is planned. All of that is enslaved. All of it's whipped to make happen. And I'm not just saying negative whipping, positives as well. And it's all planned. And that means that we're not free. None of us are free. Zero. Because the moment you are free. So if let's say I broke everything, I realized that I'm like, wow, they're trying to get me. I don't know what's going to happen in the next week or so. But they're trying to get me to they're like, hey, if you take the first step somewhere and the water is really cold, just wait a few seconds and then continue. And you're like, what the fuck? What kind of what? Like, why am I learning that lesson right now? Like, why is that important? So you see, you might not even think about it in the moment, but you learned that lesson. The focus got drawn to that. So all of a sudden, think about it, guys, like a week later, also like you started having more experiences with animals, and you used to always be friendly with them and talk to them and help them, and now you kept seeing them and you kept talking to them like, hello little animals, how are all of you? So then think about what's that gonna do? Hey, that ant shows up with wings and horns and all that stuff, and you feed it because you're now on a path of friendliness toward the animal. And you're like, hey, little animal. And they're like, what do you do? It's like, it like encourages us to fly to the sky area. Like, you know what, let's go. Show me what we got. And then, what did I say, guys? And maybe during that time, I don't know, you guys went on an adventure and you met some older people. And normally you don't talk to people anymore because you realize there's dangers to it because they can start guiding our paths. But for once you were willing to consider it, maybe you were in an area that you didn't have a choice. You just had to be there, and there were some older people, like maybe an older couple, and they got stuck something and they got hurt, and you could help them, and you had the solution, and you did. And not only were they extremely grateful, they just started talking. They're like, you remind me of like my child, and but you see, like, my child is always afraid. You're not afraid, and I want you to know that you should keep doing what you're doing. Like, no one helps people anymore. No one talks. No one. They have this solution, but they don't help. And you did, and you just changed. Honestly, you changed our life. You completely made everything better. I couldn't do it without you. We couldn't have done it without you today. And I don't know if anyone's told you that, but you guys matter. And you're like, whoa, I did that. That's so cool. It's whatever. And you're like, you walk with them, you say goodbye, and it's like, I don't think we're ever going to see each other again, but I just want you guys to know, keep being a great couple. I appreciate you guys. So then remember, a few days later, we have the ant event, flies us to the mountain, and then we go to the springs, and we see the old man. And what did I say? He only will tell us about the pool if we are friendly with him, and if we can prove to him that we can see more and we understand more. So you see, remember what experiences we had? We were friendly with the older people. We had a positive there. So now I'm like, I know I don't talk to people, but hey, you remember the older couple? When you see them, you're like, hey, old man. And you see, I'm saying that all those events that happened were their whole purpose was for one thing and one thing alone, was so that we would continue. Because see, what I'm trying to say, guys, is that in each of those moments there was a choice that presented. You could either go left or you could go right. And what I'm saying is that if there's a choice, you don't know. There's not a guarantee. But what if I created the events beforehand that created the guarantee? You see, you only could see that if you understand what's happening. Like, why did I get taught right now the lesson, hey, if I step into a cold pool, keep walking? Why did I get the lesson, hey, help elderly people, it's worth it, they're good, you're only gonna have positives with them? Why did I get the lesson, hey, I should be friendly to animals right now, I should explore with them, they're gonna help me? Why did I get those 3 lessons right now, guys? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. You see, most people don't understand that that is what is actually being taught. That is what is actually being created. You see, that's what I'm saying, is that if once you can see this, you understand. You're like, wait a minute, why are they teaching me those 3 things right now? What is going to happen in the near future that is going to use those things? Because you see, what I'm saying is that those things that are happening are meant to guide our decision-making criteria without us even realizing it. So that then when the moment that the choice can present, what do? We're meant to choose the choice that they have intended. I'm saying there's always a small percentage chance, I would say less than 0.5%, that we deviate from what was already pre-built. And because recency matters, temporary matters, and it sets our inclination and the way we operate just for a short amount of time. It can be overridden pretty quickly, but I'm saying that if you had a positive experience with something and it's pretty recent, it's going to affect whatever you do next immensely, if it's related, immensely. So you see, those 3 events happen to almost guarantee that when the fork in the road, the tuning, or the choice happens, well, what do? That almost every single person is going to choose what was intended, which is they wanted the exploration to happen in such a way that they end up in that unique thermal spring, eating peanuts, so that at that time, so that they can bump into whatever they were supposed to experience. And I use it for myself, a positive. Just, I'm like, oh, I can meet potentially an extremely beautiful dungeon girl that believes in and understands things that I'm saying, so that things can progress. For other people, it could be literally, I don't know, it just doesn't matter. Or anything. Maybe they saw a dog there, and they've been wanting a dog, and it was laying on the outskirts of the pool, and it came up to them, and the old man literally was like, what? I've seen that spirit dog here so many times, and no one has ever been able to befriend that animal. I think it's a sign that you should take that dog. You see, maybe you see, that's what you see. What you get what I'm trying to say, guys, is that we're guided intentionally through the experiences that happen beforehand. But I'm saying we're getting enslaved, so that we choose specifically the path that they intend. No freedom present. You see, what I'm saying is, if I'm guaranteeing what your decision is going to be, what you're going to choose when a choice presents A or B, if I can guarantee it, because I'm not saying that we don't have inclinations. Sure, throughout our entire life, that's fine. But you see, what I'm saying is that inclination and temporary positives or negatives shouldn't remove entirely the choice. I'm like, hey, if I have the choice between listening to like a video game song or like some kind of lyrical song that I've never heard before, I'm not saying we're intentionally like, hey, I'm just thinking Mass Effect, that I want to intentionally choose an evil decision or bad decision or Witcher or things like that, that causes a character in this story bad. Just for, as people used to say in video game terminologies when I used to play World of Warcraft, for shits and giggles. I just want to see the hilarity of doing the bad thing. I would never do it, but I think it's just, you see, I'm not saying that, because I'm also saying that that is a big warning sign that if you're doing that, it means that you probably got temporarily on a path that they're trying to make you consider doing that. I'm telling you guys, right now I've been on a path of rebellion, because I've come to realize that they try to destroy us by just changing how our outlook is, how we operate, by ruining whatever we're currently attempting. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be, I want to drink coffee right now from this different mug. You see, I'm drinking coffee from a different mug than earlier. It means that I have more rebelliousness inside of me right now. And what if I realized that I wanted to do this, but then the moment I try to drink from it, I spill? So you see, I'm saying that could be sufficient if that mattered to me right now, and they ruined that. That could make me frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I'm saying they fill up a meter. And when they fill up a meter, and now I'm going to be more negative, I'm going to actually feel worse for everything. Everything that I talk to, everything I interact with, I'm going to treat worse. It doesn't matter. Yes, it's to say a girl and a pet and a kid that come up to me, my meter will go significantly down, but I'm telling you guys, I will still be significantly more negative toward them and treat them differently than if I had only had success today and no preventions or destructions. So I learned that, and I brought back the research. I already knew that, but I explored it differently. I realized the main problem is it's not even the temporary negatives that happen throughout or during when we're doing something. It's what happens. It's just, did we fail or not? That's really all that matters. And I'm saying is that they try to guarantee that we fail. So you see, I was focusing on this. I was learning this. I'm saying that now, I also came to the realization, and I brought back, I re-injected the realization that one of the things that they do is they pre-season per industry or topic or thing. So what I mean is, like, right now I want to only do about coffee, that they're going to pre-season things about, like, well, ooh, this coffee's too bitter, this coffee's too light, this coffee's too that. You see, like, negatives and goods related to that. So then if all of a sudden I'm like, well, you know what, I'm just going to stream. Well, then they're like, oh shit, now we have to stream about, well, what topic is he going to talk about? What music is he going to choose? What is he going to wear? Like, all this stuff. Like, what is his approach going to be? Is he going to be calm? Is he going to tell a story? Like, what is he going to do? You see, now they have to season to that. So I was like, well, I can now intentionally bait them. I can walk down a little path, start getting them to season something, and then not do it, and just do something completely different. So you see, normally I do that once in a while. I'm telling you guys, I know that. I'm aware of it. I do that once in a while naturally, because in general I like doing things unseasoned, because it means that I'm much more free. Hear what I'm saying? I'm much more free. I know I'm not completely free, but I'm much more free, which means that the experience isn't guaranteed. I'm telling you, even just doing the same thing a different day, with coming into it with a different season or not season at all, you might create something completely different. You're like, whoa, what did I create this time? I just think my Divinity experiences that I create, I think that's like a game where you can set up all the mugs or the chess pieces to create an encounter of your choosing. And I'm like, wait, yes, last time I played it, I created an encounter like this, and this time I'm creating it like this, with things like floating in the air and like all that, and you're like, whoa, what is happening? And that's when you realize the benefit of, like, wait, if I'm completely free temporarily, my choices, my design, my creation, my view, my outlook, how I interact, my choices are not predetermined. Which means that things can be different. Doesn't mean that it will be, and doesn't mean that it will stay that way. That's the key. But I'm like, whoa. So, but now you see, because of what I've been experiencing, I'm telling you guys that I'm hyper-focused on it. I'm like, well, what are they seasoning? I'm like, well, no, I don't want to do that now right now, because I now know these things have things related to them. I'm like, ooh, I just got a coffee seasoning or something presented, an event presented related to coffee. I'm not going to do anything related to coffee right now. So you see, I'm saying that even just I'm catching my behavioral changes from my own self-created knowledge. I got to these topics by just playing some games, listening to some music, just writing things out. I create content. I write things either to myself or sometimes to the world, but it doesn't really matter. But the point is, I develop something, I try to figure something out, I try to piece something together, and I try to organize it, explain it in such a way for myself when I reconsume it to get back on that path, but also for other people to potentially learn the lessons that I'm also learning. But you see, I'm saying that now that has permanently changed how I'm operating right now. Temporarily, but it has a major effect. So that means that you guys see that now my choices are actually not as free anymore. And it's only because I created specific content and I reinforced that path and explored it. And I'm telling you guys, I experienced benefits from it because I prevented and destroyed a lot of the negative things that they were setting up and creating in my life. I'm telling you, there has been a distinct difference for the good, because there was a lot of bad and negatives because they had concealed and created a lot of attacks and problems in my life recently. And I'm saying that because I pieced this together and I was operating differently, I destroyed almost their entire tower of darkness and I created only light. And I'm saying that everything has improved dramatically. And I'm not just saying they made it appear that way. I can tell. But what I'm also can tell is that it's immediately now reverting. Immediately. Super fast. But you see, that means that what I did had positives. So why wouldn't I continue doing that? Do you guys see what I'm trying to get you all to realize is that you can only operate a specific way that got you positive results at best for maybe a day or two. Because once you do, I'm telling you, is that they spend every second trying to figure out ways to ruin and disrupt that new approach that you're doing. Which means that if you continue doing it, it's been figured out. And that now they're designing all the encounters that you're going to experience around that approach, because now it's expected. So you see, what you're doing to try to be free so that you can choose is now they're guaranteeing it, because they're like, well, now you're going to be paying attention to the season. You weren't paying attention to that much before. So now we're going to intentionally season you for things that we want you to not do, because we know you're going to avoid them, because it's the correct play. If I'm presenting you so many negatives with this water gun, even though it reminds me of Resident Evil, the shooting range. Oh, you see, I do more of my tactics when I stream. Could they want me to do more of my tactics? So could they try to get me to stream so that I do more of my tactics? Because you can eliminate mental thoughts that are currently populating your head that you don't enjoy. It's like, hey guys, there's 3 targets over there. What gun should we use? Shotgun, because spread. Hey, there's one little small one up there in the corner. Which one should we use? Pistol for accuracy. Oh, there's one so far away, but we do have a sniper rifle, but it only has 1 bullet. Make it count. You see, like, I do it every so often when I'm not streaming, but I do it excessively more. Not excessively, but I do it extensively more when I'm streaming. See, I call them code seeds, but there's things related to that we only do per activity or per location. I'm telling you guys, if you keep experiencing failures in a specific location with specific people, and failures mean it's not what you hope for in an outcome. Like, why does it always end up bad in this location? It's because that current location has too many of their code seeds, which means that they have things that they always do in a set location, other people around you. So that means that if they get that reminder that presents at that location, they will always do A or B. So, for example, if I want to have a healing conversation with someone, and I realize that in the kitchen they always do these things, so they don't actually they interrupt the path that I'm creating for them to help them heal or break free, is that then it always will fail, because you see, it's not as reinforced. But in other locations, they don't have any code seeds, things that sprout that make them do something that interrupt the path that I create for them. So you see, you can just, by changing location or changing time or changing stuff like that, you can prevent people from doing certain things. But think about what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have more code seeds active to doing all my tactics when I'm streaming. So what if I stop doing as many of my tactics? Not because I don't believe in them, but for the most part, they're not as necessary anymore for me. And I know one of their tactics to try to corrupt us is to make us stop doing them entirely. I haven't ever stopped doing them entirely, but I've reduced them significantly. Why? Because it really just doesn't matter anymore, because it doesn't really accomplish anything, it doesn't change anything. Because you see, of course I'm not going to feel as good, but you see, it takes a lot out of you to continuously do the tactics. You have to always be living it. You have to be that. You have to never stop. And it's a lot. It's a lot, because it also makes me want to heal more, makes me want to fight more, makes me want to change things, makes me want to try to make things better. So you see, if they can continuously make me do my tactics, I can now be more willing to fight, to try to improve things, to try to make things better. So you see, that means that then if there's a choice presents, the elderly couple that show up before me, they're like, well, what are you going to do? I might be more willing and likely to help them. You see, my choice is not as what happens to all of you, which is 100% guaranteed. But you see, now I'm 70% likely to actually help that elderly couple, because I've been doing all my tactics. If I didn't, I would be 10% likely. That means there's still a chance I could choose it. But you see how all of a sudden our freedom of choice starts getting eliminated by the things that they make us do, the things that they make us talk about, the things they make us create. And if we keep going down those paths and we keep doing those things, I'm saying, guys, that almost all of our choices are predetermined. If you can't see what they pre-season, if you don't know what's on the path in the middle from point A to point B, the landmarks in Xenoblade, and if you don't know what the end outcome lesson that they were trying to get you to is, you can't see it, then your choice is predetermined. I'm saying that I see it just for people around me. I'm like, holy shit, I know, like, whenever something happens at a specific time, I'm like, why is it happening right now? I'm like, obviously most people respond to bad. That's evident. So it's really easy, but I'm saying greater things, like how did things line up so that people or other things intersect at a specific time? I'm like, they've been having them each on a specific path right now, and they were building it for this moment. I'm like, that's what they've been doing. Got it. I see. And if they need more of a certain push right now, they try to make sure other people also reappear in your life. They bring them back. And because you see what I'm saying is that they have to bring back paths to make people remember. Just as a positive for myself, it's like I just played Final Fantasy, but they just brought back the whole Madame Archlight step. It was the most free they've ever been. They created a self-contained storyline of different tribes, natives, horse people, people who believe in death and rebirth, and just they were free. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the game decided to completely retread that entire story. And I'm saying it actually, that they got guided to do so because they wanted the developers to remember that. They're like, hey, remember you were so free here. So now whatever they're going to do next, they're going to do it more free. That is powerful. Because I'm telling you is that they forgot about it. People are like, but what? They know that. They created that. I'm like, yes, but you see, it's not active. It's not the recencies in there. The whole path, that how they built in the first place wasn't there. So I'm saying is that they bring that back for people to start changing how they operate. But you see, I'm saying that it happened to that game. I mean, I see it in Elden Ring. I literally have now a joke for myself. There's these little frogs that shoot death, poison clouds. That if you stay in them for too much time, you die. In the first game that they ever created, the one that put them on the map that made people recognize how good they were, they had one, and they weren't afraid to do challenging things and effects that were punishing the players. And they could curse the player if they touched that fog for like 2 seconds. They got cursed, and they just permanently lost like 75% of your health, which completely had to change how you play. And there was only one place to cure it, and there was no way to just instantly solve it. So those frogs were proof of that the developers were willing to create complex mechanics with punishing things, and also it was an area that they just had it was like an underwater tree, roots. Like, my whole point is they were free temporarily in that moment. And what I noticed is that all of a sudden there's certain areas in the game where, because you could see that they got deviated, they started caring about numbers, about graphics, about open world, about just easy, about lots of rewards. They were known for their crafted experiences, and all of a sudden there was one area where that started changing. And I'm saying it became much more linear. It became much more about puzzles, level design, about unique situations, almost like a little mini challenges to overcome. And whenever that started happening, then all of a sudden I always saw the frogs, those like cursed frogs that would appear. And I'm like, aha! Whenever they placed them in a location, everything that's happened slightly before and after is so much better designed. I promise you guys, every single time those death frogs are present, the design in the video game Elden Ring is 1,000,000 times better. It's not even a fucking question. It's a guarantee. It's just, they're free. It just temporarily breaks them free, and it makes them remember, oh wait, that's how we used to design. That's how we used to be. That's what we didn't used to care about the graphics and about creating just endless repetition with minor modifications. We knew that it was more about craft unique experiences. So I'm saying something in this world makes them remember the cursed frogs and like the roots and all that, and their previous games that they designed. Whenever they get lost and off track and they're corrupted, and they start performing better again. But here's the thing. What if the same thing that was reminding them of who they used to be and what they're capable of intentionally kept that away and made them care about the graphics, about the open world, about the easy, so that certain areas had that and other areas had that. If you're like, oh, they finally remembered, like, what if it was intentional? What if it was intentional? You see, that changes things, doesn't it? Because people are like, oh, well, something in this world helped them remember. That's so cool. I'm like, what if that same thing that helped them remember helped keep those memories away and deviated them temporarily. People, we see now they're even better. They learn new lessons. Like, what would they have created? What would they have done if they never got deviated in the first place? People are like, well, you see, how did it turn out? So we're back to the outcome. So we're back to you caring about how the result happened. Aha! So you guys only care if predetermined is real, is if then the result matters. Do we get it? If the result is negative, oh well, yeah, we need to defeat this. If the result is positive. See guys? Not a problem. All this that I just talked about boils down to one thing. We're not free. None of us. Because the moment we are free, I'm telling you, we did something to break free. We did something to break free. We deviated. We caught something. We realized something. We learned something. Or we modified one of our approaches. But the moment that happens is that I used to say that whenever we are operating freely, that they try to ruin whatever we do next. And that's true. But what I also realize is that it usually is tied to we don't need a specific outcome. We don't care for a specific desire or need. Doesn't mean that we don't appreciate, doesn't mean we don't value it. We realize that we don't need it. Because we don't. If you can survive another day, you don't need it. It's not a requirement. Doesn't mean that it wouldn't be really nice. You see, it's not a requirement. So if you operate that way in anything you do, you're going to notice that everything changes. I'm like, well, actually, I don't need anything from this right now. I don't. Everything changes. I'm saying the moment that you start operating that way is that within seconds, within minutes, within hours, usually it's seconds, by the way, is that things start presenting to you that try to rebuild your care, your desire, that you know you need something from this. Something has to come from this. Something has to come from this. Otherwise, this is bad. Otherwise, this is failed. This is like, I'm telling you, just for a hilarity one for myself, but I'm also bringing back recency, is that I try to attach more positives to the outside again, just because they've completely installed so many negatives to it. And it has a lot of negatives because it's unnecessary information. That's what makes it negative. And the potential for events that can take you down paths that you can present things that just don't matter. So you see, that's really all it is. There's really not a lot of negatives in that. It's unnecessary information. We really don't need it. You see, that's the thing. We don't need it. So why are we consuming our excess information if we don't need it? Well, you see, could we get something from this? Could it be one of our positives? But you see, now then we need something. So what I realize is, if you just go outside and you just do your own positives, well then the outside is just the backdrop. It's just decoration, right? It's just the arena. And that's the answer. So, like, if I had a dog or a kid or a pet or a girl, then I could do something outside with her. You see, but my entire focus is on doing it with her or with my kid or with my pet. But if you don't have that, you see, you have to do something for yourself. So I came to the realization, I'm like, well, how about I just sing songs outside? Or I could do one of my talks just walking. And you can. I don't even need to record it to create more positives to the outside. But I'm singing songs outside, guys. And I'm telling you is that there's benefits to it. I know. I can disrupt other people. But I'm telling you that immediately, the moment I was just singing just for myself. And I hope it helps people and makes people realize there's nothing wrong with just singing. But I'm telling you, the moment that happened, all of a sudden, they start trying to create little tendrils. And what do I call it? Is that all of a sudden you're singing, and I'm singing regardless if there's people or next to me or not. So you see, I'm not changing my behavior if other people are present. But what I'm saying is that the moment all of a sudden a group of girls appears before me in the distance and they're walking toward me, and I'm telling you that the moment I'm singing, it's still the same song, but all of a sudden a mental thought populates to me without me doing anything, which is like, oh, maybe they might like your singing and maybe they want to talk to you. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. Do you guys get it? I'm saying I would sing regardless if those three girls presented or not. And I'm saying that they present those things to try to make you now be like, well, I should just probably sing, I should serenade a girl. Yeah. So you see, all of a sudden, we're not operating freely anymore. And I'm saying an activity that we started free, that we were doing just to be free, just for ourselves. I'm not saying that there can't be unintended benefits. I'm not saying consequences, but I'm saying that there can't be positives that come from something. But you see, we don't need anything. We're not doing it for that reason. But the moment you're operating that way is that within seconds, within minutes, events start happening to us, mental thoughts start populating, and also overt things start presenting, literally throwing themselves at us so that we bump into things. And they're trying to make us now operate in such a way that we could get something from something. And I'm like, but that's not why I was singing outside. You see, like, they try to deviate your purpose. They try to deviate your focus. Like today, I'm just talking. Yes, I have an overall theme, but I'm just talking. And I'm going to slow down here in a little bit. But I'm telling you, it's immediate. They try to stop you. They try to interfere with you. They try to ruin it, and they try to make you now care for something. And it's like, you're singing for the girls, right? You can impress her, or you can help her. Maybe you can break her free. And I'm like, no, it wasn't that. But I'm saying every time a girl walks by, that mental thought pops into your head, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? That isn't me. And until people can come to the realization that that's how the world operates, they're never going to be free ever. Because I'm telling, most people are like, oh, yeah, well, actually, that could have that benefit. Something else is trying to create that within us. I've talked about it. Arrogance is created. I'm not going to go further down the path, but I'm telling you guys, if you're walking and all of a sudden a mental thought populates into your head, it's like, oh, I'm better than that person because I know more. And you do. But you see, I'm saying that something is putting that into your head, and no one's going to interrupt that. No one's going to eliminate that from their mental world because they get so few positives to the moment. Something's just like, yeah, you are better than that. I'm like, yeah, I am. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? Is that I'm telling you is that something creates those things within us. It's not us. It's not us at all. And once you realize that, you're like, holy shit. Because remember what I said, guys, you have to understand the pre-seasoning, you have to understand what's happening during the landmarks, and then you have to see what they're trying to create. You're like, oh my God, they're trying to create arrogance in me right now. Or they're trying to make me think that my singing could get a girl. Like, what? Like, it has nothing to do with it. Once I have the girl, I'll gladly sing for her. Do we get it? But they're trying to make it that, oh no, singing is only something you use to get the girl. I'm like, what? No! Because what could that do, guys? Well, if a girl presents, I'm like, I'm gonna sing a song right now, because that gets girls interested in me. But if there's no girl present, I'm not gonna sing. I'm telling you guys, just look around you, all of you. Most people around you only do things if other people are present. They only do things if it makes them appear a set way. Because that's how God sold in them, is that the mental thought populated when they were doing something. So now it got connected that A equals B. They have to do that. I don't know. So I'm saying, guys, I'm like, wait, why is it you guys only did that when other people were present? You never do something like that by yourselves. I'm like, ooh, it's because it got created within them. And I'm saying, once you see it, you never can unsee it. I'm like, holy shit. So maybe if I want them to do something, I just have to be present, or I have to suggest something, because they'll do it because I'm there. You see, because they need another variable. They'll never do it for themselves. You realize just how sad that is, because that means that they're not free at all. They can't choose. But I'm saying, if I'm there and I say something, I want to do this, they'll do it. You guys get it? They can't choose. They're not free at all. They're not free at all. Because it got created. Then it got deinstalled from within them. Immediately. I'm saying, if you're operating freely, if I see anyone operating freely, I know that the next time I see them, which could be within a few minutes, they're already going to be not free. You guys remember what I said about this drink from this unique coffee mug? I have a regular coffee mug here, and I'm drinking from this one because of the rebelliousness that I had built inside of me. But I'm telling you, it's a lot less right now, because now that I'm talking about this, I'm like, holy shit. If I start creating stuff and talking about something, I can only operate that way temporarily, and then I have to change again. Maybe that's, see, but are they trying to get me to just always do more talks? Probably. But you guys see, it never ends, because now you have to, you watch everything in the magnifying lens and identification lens for Bertolt. You're like, oh my goodness, is this safe? Because I'm telling you guys, I can only operate this way now. The way I'm going to be now after this stream talk, I can only operate that way at best for 24 hours. I'm saying within 24 hours, they're going to have figured out every single method and approach to try to corrupt it and ruin it, and use how I operate, my decision-making criteria that I developed from this stream, and the lessons that I developed from the stream to literally poison or corrupt or bait me down the paths that they intend, sort of my choice of return, because now they know that see, what I'm saying is that they learn what our decision-making criteria is, and then they present the things related to that intentionally, so that then when in the next few steps down the road, the choice presents, we're like, oh, I'm always going to do this. Right now, I know I'm like, every time I interact with my family, bad things happen, so I should never heal them. You see, and I learned that, and I'm saying that is true. You have to be extremely careful when you choose to heal, because I'm saying it's almost 99% of the time a bait. Because what did I talk about is that they try to prevent and ruin things, so that because then we feel the pain, the damage after we destroy something else, or if they destroy what we're attempting currently, then we feel the damage. And I'm saying is that the easiest way to do that is through other people. Because if I right now want to help my family, and I try to help them, I'm just saying they can make anything present that interrupts it, and it fails. I'm saying that it doesn't even matter if nothing terrible happened, but it failed. You guys see, it got prevented, it got destroyed. So that means that the meter filled and I took the blow. I'm like, oh, so now I'm gonna feel worse. I literally now feel worse because of that. So you guys see, is that if I keep doing these talks every day, I'm going to be much more of a healer. And I'm doing more of my tactics, which means I'm going to be now more likely and more inclined again to help my family. But now you see, right now I can choose. But what if I said to guys, I had come to the realization that's just not worth it? It's just not, because they're never going to learn all this. They just can't. It's way too complex. The only way is they have to be willing to completely self-destruct everything they know and start over. And I'm telling you, no one would do that, because that means that you're going to literally be a noob. It's like if you're a kindergarten kid or preschool, and people might laugh at you at first because you now are learning everything all over again. And no one will do that, because everyone cares too much how they appear. It's just that simple. No one will be willing to do that. And until they take that first step, they're willing to be like, okay, well, I don't know anything. Let's try it. Let's try to figure this all out. It's never going to fully work. And there's many other reasons I've talked about in my other talks, but my point is I've come to the realization of that. So I realize it's just not worth it, because the risk far outweighs the benefits. It's like, well, if they're healed and free, wouldn't that be good? I'm like, yes, but it's so easy for them to prevent it, and if it gets prevented, it doesn't matter if I know, they intentionally prevented it. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't even matter if I know that. I will now feel worse, and anything I do next and the rest of the day is going to be strained, and it's going to suffer because of that intentional, planned failure. So you see, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not worth it. It's just not. But you see, that means that now they knew my decision-making criteria, that I'm always going to choose not to heal them anymore, because I now know this. And I'm saying, it's correct. It's correct. It's not worth it. So what if, after this talk, I go downstairs and I actually start trying to heal my family? It's a mistake. It is. But you see, people are like, wait, what? Why would you do that? You know it's a mistake. You know there's risk. I'm like, I know. Do you guys see that means that my choice isn't predetermined anymore? I can literally choose to make a mistake. I can choose to make a mistake. I can choose to make a mistake, even knowing that it's most likely going to destroy me. It's going to make me operate worse. It's going to make me create negatives toward them. It's going to make me feel worse. It's going to ruin anything I do next. And I'm saying I can still choose to do that. But what ends up getting created within us is that our choice becomes predetermined. Because if you now 100% know, I'm like, it is always a mistake. It is. Just so you guys are all aware, it's always a mistake. I should never attempt to heal them ever again. It's always going to be a mistake. Always. But you see, I could still choose to do so. I could. What if it got created to be that they wanted it to always, that we now know it's a mistake, so we'll never do it? So what happens then if we chose to do it? And they're like, we what? We planned all the events that were happening right now because we knew that the mistakes wouldn't repeat, and now they did. What? I mean, I literally think about some of the baits that they presented before me today. And I'm like, I could literally provoke them again. I could. I could provoke them again because I know exactly all their weaknesses and vulnerabilities because they never healed them. I could. You guys see, I could do that, and I know it's a mistake. I can choose to do that, and not out of rebellion, not out of evil, not out of malice, but to try to like create a healing scenario. What I'm saying is that if I chose to do that, because I see that means that I'm operating freely. I can choose. I'm not being guided or dictated by anything. People are like, even knowing it's a mistake doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that you guys see, learning that knowledge actually guides us and controls our path significantly. It dictates so much. It's one of the most brutal things you can do to people is that you teach them what is correct and what is a mistake. What I'm saying is that it's a permanent guiding lever, and they can never deviate. And people are like, well, why would you? You get punished if you make the mistake. I'm like, correct, you see? But that means that I can just present the scenario that says, remember the potential mistake, so that means that you will never do so. Do you guys get it? If I want to control your path, can I just present the 10 things you know around you that you know, oh, if I don't do this, it's a mistake. So each one is like, hey, do you choose to drink from the water mug or the coffee mug? I shouldn't drink coffee right now because it's a mistake. Okay. Oh, another coffee mug and water mug. Oh, another coffee mug and water mug. You guys get what I'm trying to say? You guys get what I'm trying to say? Is that you can predetermine the entire path by just making sure that people know what is a mistake and what is the correct solution. And then you just present the 10 variables that you're like, wait, yeah, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that. We made it! Yay! And people think they made it to the location from point A to point B, that they chose correctly, that they feel so good, and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, they just presented the 10 things that you know are mistakes that you never will make a mistake on. What if, like, choice 7, you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna drink the coffee. And all of a sudden, because of that, it's like you open up, like, I'm thinking like the Brianna Castle. Like, think of like a shinobi area, and you open up a door behind, and you're like, whoa, what's here? I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's here, but there's nothing here. It's like, I guess I just thinking of like developers, but even just, I think about some of the resorts that I went to when I still had my girl and my kid and my pets with my family, is that I was like, is there something in this room? And I would open a door that was closed, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, there's like, this area is not even set up, it's not even like finished, fully built or furnished. They started, but I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. I had some really good ideas in here. I guess they got deviated. They never really knew what they were going to do with it. But you see, all of a sudden you're in an area that you shouldn't be in. You're like, hey, let's keep exploring. And I'm like, let's just say like the manager or the employees show up and like, hey, you shouldn't be in here. I'm like, tell me about this room. This is really cool. And they're like, oh, really? And you start talking to them, and all of a sudden you see like people are like, but you shouldn't ask that. You should immediately leave the room if someone says that to you. And imagine if you ask that, and all of a sudden a conversation begins, and maybe they're like, hey, you know what? You have really good ideas. We would like to talk to you tonight at the Mexican festival that we're going to host. I'm like, okay. I'm just throwing out, that's as far as I'm going to go down that path. But what I'm trying to show you guys is that you see, like, if you walk through a door that doesn't make any sense that you'd walk through at that particular moment, is that you're actually temporarily free. Because you see, at no point am I saying it's for good or for bad, but I'm just saying you're temporarily free. Because if you know every single choice already, you're not free. Because I'm telling you, people equate freedom to that only good is happening. I'm saying we get enslaved to our good knowledge as well, guys. I'm telling you, we get enslaved to it. I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm just like, holy shit, I'm seasoned right now in this direction, this area. I'm not going to do those things right now, and I'm going to do other things because I now know that if I did those things, it would be a mistake. And you guys know that it would be. I'm telling you, everything I would experience, everything I would feel, everything I would do would be just worse. It wouldn't be as good as it could be. It's a mistake. It means I'm not free. It means that they know exactly what to present, and I'm going to choose correctly. They're like, so you're avoiding pain, you're avoiding misery, you're avoiding problems, you're avoiding destruction. That means you're going to feel overall better today. What's the problem with that? What if something else is being guided like that as well at the same time? And it was meant to be that I bump into something or I do something at a specific time to cause the next chain event. People are like, yeah, but what if it's only good? I'm like, you guys get it? It always comes down to that. It always comes down to that. The moment I start talking about predetermined, the moment I start talking about predetermined and no freedom, all of you immediately are like, well, what if it's good? You immediately start focusing on the result. Immediately. What if it's bad? Oh, well over and over again. That cycle could repeat endlessly forever. Because the moment any of you could even consider for 1 second that every single thing that you're all doing, every single choice that you're making is all predetermined because of everything that they precede you with, everything that you're seeing on your path to, and then at the end, the lesson that they're intending for you to get, and you are now operating based on that as your guiding decision-making criteria, so that every single choice that as they present, you always decide to do exactly what they wanted because they know exactly what you're going to do at this current time and how you're operating at this current time because they made it happen. Well, that means that whatever you're currently walking toward is planned. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, guys. It doesn't. I'm saying is that it's already, the outcome is already determined. There's no freedom present. There's none. All of you focus on the outcome and the result. I'm saying it doesn't matter. Today we're not focusing on that. We're talking about freedom. I'm saying I would rather have something result in something significantly worse, but there was freedom present. I've talked about this before, but I'm finally back to it. I have wanted these evil spirits to come to the realization that the only thing that matters is that we win or lose by our own sword. That means that they can't interfere. You see, if that means that I'm just going to win now because I figured out everything and I'm too good, then that's their problem, not mine. That means that the climb, that means that learning all this stuff, that means that putting in all this effort was worth it. People are like, it's not fair that you only are just going to win now. And I'm like, then other people can do the same thing. I'm giving it all away for free. Yeah, but if I lose, it's my fault too. You see, if I'm talking to a girl and today she just rejects me and hates me and I didn't do anything differently, I'm like, what? It's because they created a path in her and they presented things and they made her do that. And you see, most of us get tricked into thinking that we did something wrong, and I'm like, we didn't. And I'm saying they predetermined it based on what the girl was going through. So you see, they do that because most of us don't realize that. So instead, we start blaming ourselves, and we start changing ourselves, and we start modifying our behaviors and our approaches and the things that we currently are creating or focusing on or teaching or thinking about. Because I'm telling you guys, they can put mental thought. I'm just telling you, some extremely beautiful LinkedIn girls right now, I create something and they insert a mental nudge into my head that's like, oh, do you think she commented or do you think she was one of the ones that liked it? I'm like, that doesn't matter. Because it's them putting it into it. I'm like, that's so fucking dangerous. Once I realized they can do that, I'm like, holy shit. That is so dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. I'm like, if she's my girlfriend, then I would know she would do so. And actually, I wouldn't even need her to do so. She could if she wanted to, but I wouldn't need her to do so. Because we would talk about it regardless. You see? I wouldn't even need that mental. You see what I'm saying, guys? Is that I remove all of their purpose. I remove all of their function. And I did that for one reason alone, how the world is operated, what you guys call gods. It's because I realize is that they are determining if we win or lose. They're determining if we have victories or not. And it's because they want to change how we operate. That's all it is, guys. People are like, why would they make us lose? And I'm like, think about what I said, guys. Is that the court rejected us when we think that we did something wrong. So you see, we start analyzing that, and now you guys know that when you're starting to think about that, if you're not protected right now, and think about it, you just experience a negative, you're not protected at all. So you're much more vulnerable to mental thoughts appearing, and you don't see that what they're trying to create. And they're like, yeah, it's because, well, you didn't know how to dress yet, or you didn't know how to do your messy hair if you don't have a beard. You see, like, maybe they wanted you to modify who you are, and your behaviors and your approaches, to have those things or do those things. And you see, at no point, remember what I said, guys, at no point am I grading, like, maybe you might even agree with it now, like, yeah, actually, no, you're right. Just doing the messy hair thing, it's positive for myself, because it shows I just don't give a shit. But also, it counters the clean smoothness. You see, like, it creates a counterbalance. So you see, like, they're like, see, that means that they guided you to the lesson through the bad that you experienced. It was a good thing. But let me ask you something, guys. What if both us and the girl were free? And she actually, eventually over time, once we're dating, she's like, let's say we have sex on the white couch, and she's like messes up my hair, like she's scratching my hair. And all of a sudden she's like, hey, actually, I really like it. Your hair messy like that. And then you go to the bathroom afterwards and you clean up, you're like, yeah, even without her saying that, actually, wow. So you see, we got to something without having to experience terrible or negatives to do so. You guys see, we evolved, we can learn something, and people are like, it wouldn't have happened otherwise. And I'm like, then was it necessary? Yeah, but do you guys get what I'm trying to say? I'm saying that not all the bad is for complete destruction of our life. It's not. Because think about it, guys. People are like, my life is ruined. And I'm like, we're still alive. I'm like, technically that's true. But our life is ruined. But you see, that means that all the bad that happened led us to specific things. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? All the bad that happened led us to specific things. And it's because all the people chose their choices were predetermined. There was no freedom present at all. And when I think about it like that, I'm just like, it just pisses me the fuck off. Like there's nothing else to it, because it's just, that's why I fight the way I do every so often. Not to the same degree anymore, because I know it's impossible, but I still do it every so often, even just for myself. Just because remember I said it changes how we operate temporarily. But we have to keep doing it every so often, because otherwise they catch on so fast to take away our freedom immediately. But I'm just like, wait a minute. So why did I need to dress like this? Doesn't mean that I don't agree with it. Doesn't mean that I don't think that it actually is better. And I'm not even saying that I got conditioned to it. I'm just saying, I'm like, yeah, actually this is pretty awesome. But what I'm trying to get you all to realize is, like, why did we only have to get to that through a bad? They're like, you wouldn't have done so otherwise. And I'm like, well, then was it necessary? They're like, well, we're playing the game of life through your vessel, so yeah, it is necessary. Oh, so that means we are not the ones choosing. So do we even matter then? So why don't we just become lifeless husk puppets that just sit here, do nothing? If they're the ones who control everything. What's the point, guys? Do you guys get it? They're like, well, you're going to get more girl attention. And I'm like, if I already have a girl, what's the problem? But you didn't know that we were going to intentionally destroy your girl and cause problems, so that now you're going to have to look for another one again down the road. That's why we want you to learn those lessons. Wait a minute. You guys destroyed it intentionally. So you're saying, you're justifying why you guys are teaching, trying to get me to learn lessons through bad, but you guys are the ones who are destroying things. It's like, yeah, because otherwise people. Why do you all get to decide? Why are you the masters and we the slaves? Alright, good enough. My point is, guys, we're not free. Alright, I'm just going to take a 1 minute break. And then I'm going to talk about this. I'm just going to debrief. I'm just going to listen to the music and embrace the sad reality of the fact is that we're not free. Because the moment we are, we begin getting enslaved. It's just that simple. The moment we are free, we begin getting enslaved. It's instantaneous. It's instantaneous. And what are we going to talk about? Exactly what I wrote. It's like the moment we finally feel like we can do anything, that we can just try, we can just operate. I'm telling you guys, that only lasts one moment. It's only for a moment. All right. All right, let's do this. So, it's a weird feeling when you know that they predetermine our stories. It's horrific, just so people are aware, because it changes things forever. Because then you don't see the good in the same light anymore. Because you're like, why did they give me that? Because I'm telling you guys, they don't give good. They don't, unless they want something. They don't give good. If you're experiencing positives right now, you need to be extremely wary. It's just that simple, guys. I'm telling you, they don't give good. They don't. They don't. They only do it to enslave you. It's that simple. I'm telling you guys, if you're getting good right now, you're getting enslaved by something. It's intentional. There is nothing else to this. It's immediate. I'm telling you. They never. How do I know this? Because if you're actually free, and what is freedom, guys? What is actual freedom? It's when you can just choose everything. I'm telling you guys. You said it's when you're healed. It is, but when you're free, I'm just like I can do it. I can intentionally choose to walk through make the mistake, even knowing it's a mistake. I don't need anything. from this. I don't. From anything I do. I don't. And I'm telling you guys, the moment you start operating that way, because you're walking in uncharted territory, they can't have that. Because now nothing is predetermined. Nothing is known anymore. So your next response won't be known. Which means that every time you keep walking further, you're only gonna get further deviated from the possibility of ever being a known variable. I used to call it the unknown variable. Yay, we came back to that. I'm telling you guys, the unknown variable isn't as unknown as people think. We're made to believe that we're being some like uncontrollable chess piece. We're not. They make us think we are, because then we won't change anymore. We won't fight anymore. I'm telling you guys, once they are like, okay, he's not as controllable as we want, but he's 75% controllable. Good enough. That's still way too much. I can't believe we are allowing him to be that free. That's completely unacceptable. But they're like, yeah, but remember, whenever we try to fully enslave him, he breaks free to the point of like 0.5% slavery. We can't have that at all. So just let him be 75% enslaved. It's fine. You see, that's how they operate, guys. They will only allow something if it means that it's better than what otherwise, because they just want control. They want predetermined stories, known variables. So one of their favorite plays is to make us think that we're an unknown variable. That's really what they want. They try to install in each and every one of us, because no, we don't question anymore. No one can do what I do. No one thinks the way the things that I think about. No one does my approach. And I'm saying, well, if they create that in you, I'm not saying that there aren't parts of that are true, but if they can create that in you, do you guys get it? That it's over. Because now you're like, even if a decision presents, you don't even think about it anymore. You're just like, I know that whatever I choose is the unknown variable. No one does what I do. And you guys see, it's over. It's fucking over then. It's hilarious actually to think about. Whenever I listen to this, we'll laugh. They do it to everyone that thinks they're any hot shit at all. They do it to all of them. They make them think that there's some, like, they make the best decisions and that they're uncontrollable. But they are actually one of the most controllable, because they just have to give them the false seed that they think they are. That's all it is. And I'm telling you guys, if you're actually free, if you're operating in a way that they don't know anymore what you're going to do at all, is that you don't experience any positive anymore. I'm telling you guys, it vanishes completely. That's what I'm saying. If you guys are experiencing positive, you're not free. It's just that simple. It's horrific to say. It's absolutely disgusting. It's so sad. It's pathetic, actually. Can you think about that, guys? That if you're experiencing any positive, it means you're not free. If you're experiencing even 1% positive, it means you're not free. I'm saying anything that you don't control. Anything that's not self-sourced. Anything that's not your own decision created. Anything that's presenting to you, anything external, anything. If you're experiencing even 1% positive from things that you don't control, it means that you're fucking a slave. You're not free. It's just that simple. They don't allow it. I'm telling you guys. If you interact with other people and you're getting any positives at all, it means you're not free. How do I know? Because there have been times where I have been completely free. Because I self-destructed myself because I realized everything I knew was wrong. And I'm telling you, when I operate that way, I cut everything out. And I just was starting to bring back in slowly, and I wanted to analyze how it made me feel and what the changes were. And I could immediately tell where the bad was and what the problems were and all this stuff like that. And how they do it. And where they do it. And that's when I caught on that they are actually populating mental thoughts into our head as we're doing things. To start making us have expectations, start installing certain variables in us, so forth and so forth. And that's how they usually try to ruin almost everything that we do when we're not free. Is that they actually they stop relying on externals and they start relying on mental. So like right now, all of a sudden I look at my stream and they're like, "Damn, you're really good." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, wait, why would they do that? I'm like, they're trying to create arrogance. Got it. So stuff like that. So I started piecing all that together. And I'm saying I was operating freely. Completely. I was operating freely. And I'm telling you that everything around me, from one moment to the next, started attacking me. started treating me horribly. And I'm saying the day before, they could have loved me, they could have worshipped me, they were treating me well. I didn't even interact with them. And all of a sudden the next day, they viewed me as the enemy. They were attacking me, they were causing me problems. They were literally trying to ruin my life in every way possible. I'm like, what happened? And I'm saying is that it's everything. It's anything that you're doing. It's everything that you're doing. Because they can't have you completely free. I'm saying the moment you are free, you get enslaved. The moment. It happens. So the takeaway, the real answer is you can only ever be 99% free. At best. But that's not free. That means we can't be free. This world is designed that all of us are not meant to be free. I used to be someone who got conditioned and believed a lie that we're all meant this, like some kind of school, that we're meant to be like healed, that we're meant to be free. I'm saying, guys, it's designed not. The world design is intentionally created that we are not meant to be free. It was never intended that any of us break free or learn this stuff, ever. It was never intended, because their whole purpose is they just want intended, scripted stories so that they can currently experiment with what they want to happen, to see the results from that. It plays out, they can take some notes, like, we made some mistakes here, and then we have to make sure we condition more preemptively in that area, so that because when the choice presented, we thought it was 100% guaranteed, but they paused for like a day, and they almost didn't choose it. Wow, we have to be careful. You see, that's the kind of world that they're creating. You're like, are they experimenting us? That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that they just want to see their stories play out, which means that they need things to be predetermined. They can't have us free, because then stories can't play out. That's all it is, guys. I'm saying it doesn't matter if the story's bad or good. They just arbitrarily choose what they currently want for you, what they want to see happen. They're like, well, we did give him a lot of this skill set. How about we just create bad right now in his relationship? Let's see how he deals with it. We know we've conditioned him, created him to operate this way and respond this way. So it's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be fun. And then if it doesn't work out immediately the way we wanted it to, we want him to do these set things, well, then let's have something present that then gives him a certain push or creates certain things. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah. We only need to bring external variables in if it doesn't result immediately what we wanted. Okay. And they start doing it. And you see, it just plays out. How it plays out, that's not guaranteed. But so I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is that essentially they just get to watch movies. That's really how this world operates. They just get to watch it. We're just their actors playing out their movies, their scripted storylines. That's really what it is. You guys like movies, don't you? You guys like watching movies. I'm saying they like watching movies. They get to create the movies and then they watch it. I mean, I get it. I create my own video game experiences now, despite what the developers design. And then I play it out, and it's fun. So that means that they did the same thing. They get to create the encounters, they create the script, they create the movie, and then they play it out, then they hit play. Like, why did that part didn't work out? Why didn't Gruntilda aggro this time? You're like, damn it. All right, let's rewind and let's retry that again. This time let's remove the things that prevented that problem. All right, now let's try again. All right, go. Yay! It worked out. That's awesome. Cool. Oh, wow. That was a really cool event. That was a really cool movie. Nice. All right. Guys, it's been kind of boring recently. Nothing's really been happening in this movie anymore. How can we make things happen again? What can we do? Well, we need to guide them to... Oh, the ant! Oh, we can use the ant. The flying ant. We can use the flying ant. The horns. The old man. Quick, get the old man. Whoa. Is there an elderly couple nearby that we can use to start guaranteeing that the script? Oh, yeah, there's... You see, that's how it ends up happening, guys. And it's just sad. It really pisses me off. It frustrates me to no end, because I'm literally telling you guys, we're just actors playing out their script. I call it that they designed the sandbox, they designed the encounter, and we just have to respond to the variables. And it's true. But it's just so fucking pathetic. It's disgusting. I'm like, really? That's what life is? I don't tolerate it. I'm not okay with it. I don't know why all of you do. People are like, oh, because of that outcome. I know. What if it's good? I know. What if this is a good movie right now? I'm like, yeah, but then you guys are gonna accept the second one when it's bad? No, then you're gonna get mad. Because you're too now stuck in their tendrils. You're stuck in their claws. They got you. And then it's over, guys. Then you're not gonna be happy about their predetermined outcome. You see what I'm saying, guys? It's not acceptable. Because there have been days where because you see, I now know all this. The moment you break free, you get re-enslaved. I'm saying they spend every second. It's not even fucking funny anymore how absurd it is. It's every second. You only get tortured. You only get attacked by everything around you. Everything. I'm not saying even just mentally. I'm saying everything. In anything that's external, they attack you. Every single thing. Until you are no longer free. Once you're no longer free, all of a sudden those same things that literally wanted to stab you the day before are now going to treat you well. And you're like, I didn't change anything. I'm just not free anymore. I'm actually just a slave right now. And now I'm getting treated well? I'm like, wait a minute. So that means how I'm treated only depends on one thing and one thing alone. If I'm currently free or not. If I'm getting treated well, it means I'm not free. If I'm getting treated bad, it means I'm free. It's just that simple, guys. It really is. Now that I really think about it, I'm just thinking about my last 45 days here in this new location that I've been at. When I broke free again here, there are 2 times when I've been free here. And I'm saying, guys, all of a sudden a lot of bad started happening. But now, when it all of a sudden got quiet or got better or got things, there was less problems happening. I'm saying it's because I wasn't free anymore. I wasn't free anymore. It successfully enslaved me. That means that my choices were now predetermined. Because that's really what it is, guys. Is that now my choices were predetermined. I'm like, I can't do these things anymore because if I do, that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna do it. See, that means I'm not free. It means that all my choices are guaranteed. If they present if they present right now a target, remember that the sniper target in distance, I'm going to use my sniper rifle from Resident Evil. I'm saying is that once they can get that back through enough experiences, enough torture, enough bad, is that then things change again. Then all of a sudden you start getting more good. Then there's more calm. Then there's more quiet. Then there's more positives. It's because now they know what your responses are going to be. They know what paths you're going to walk. They know what choices you're going to make and what you're not going to do. Which means that if they want you to do specific things, they can present those specific things, and you always do them because you now know, avoid all those mistakes. Do you guys see? So it means that when the crossroad happens, you always choose what they want. Always. I'm saying once they get you back to that point, then you start experiencing good. I always said it's because positive enslaves, but really it's just because then they now need to keep maintaining that. Do you guys get it? They have to. Because if they get you to question or deviate it, then it's ruined. Then you're free again. They can't have that. Because for the first time ever, they can write the stories now the way they want. Because they know what you're going to do. I'm telling you guys, if right now I say, hey, drink water, you drink water, I can control the story. But if I say, hey, drink water, and you decide to drink 10 minutes from now, and maybe you drink 10 sips in a row, you guys see that, but then tomorrow I say drink water, and you drink water 6 times in a row. And then you didn't drink for a whole day. They're like, why? We just don't know what to do. I'm saying that is how you defeat them. But I ask all of you, can we really defeat them? We can destroy their stories. We can prevent them. But at what cost? It means that you're only going to experience bad. I'm telling you, if you destroy their stories and you're completely free and they can't control you at all, they get every single path that you're going to walk incorrect. They try to predetermine everything. I'm telling you guys, that's how they do it. I used to be afraid of it, but I almost call it simulation. You try to simulate all the outcomes. And I'm saying they get it all wrong. They always do. If you're free, they get it wrong. They can't. If you're free, I'm telling you guys, is that they can't predict you at all. Algalon. Your actions are illogical. It actually is real. You really are the unknown variable. What I'm saying is that the moment that happens, you guys see, it means that they've decided, the way the world operates is that they've decided that there's no reason to operate that way. If one of their chess pieces is completely free, you see, I thought that they would be excited. They would embrace the challenge. That they're like, okay, let's step up. Let's try to figure this out. How can we operate alongside him if he's now free? I'm telling you guys is that what they do, they've given up on that. Maybe they tried for a little bit, but I'm telling you, they've given up on that. If they notice that you're free, all they do, they don't even try anymore. I'm telling you guys, they don't even try to make things happen anymore. They only do one thing. They only try to cause bad and destruction, more negatives, ruin everything you try, and mental torture. That's all it is. Non-stop. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. There's no good. I'm telling you guys. So I guess what I'm thinking about is, does that mean that we have to choose to literally be a slave at times throughout the day? I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a slave right now. And then I break free. All of a sudden I break the shackles. I'm like, all right. And now for a short period of time, you're completely free. Whenever there comes a point where you have to make choices, you break free. And then right after, then you're going to get tortured like, But then when you're going to do just things that you want for fun, you're like, all right, enslave me. All right, now I'm free again. Let's do this. Is that really how life has to operate? Is that we have to do phases? I don't know. I'm thinking, but I don't know. Because what I'm telling you guys is it's impossible to remain free. It is. It's completely impossible. At best, if you have mastered all of this knowledge and you recognize things, a few days, at best. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to break. There's nothing you can do. Because I'm telling you guys, if you have to be completely isolated, and if you're completely isolated, it's all mental. And I'm telling you, if there's any technology, they can manipulate technology completely. So it means that you would just paper and pen. Can you only operate with paper and pen and be completely isolated? If so, then maybe you might be able to remain free, but I'm telling you, they might break you still. There's no way. Nobody's free. I'm telling you guys. Because if you are, the only thing they do is they spend every second trying to enslave you again. It's every second, just so you guys know. It's every second. Every single activity you do. Sleep, eating, how you cook, what you listen to, what you're doing. And every single person you interact with, there's only negative reminders from other people, and they actually attack you, both physically and verbally and mentally. I'm telling you guys, it's only that. Only. And if you start getting confined again, you start behaving the way they want, then you start getting the positives. Because you see, it's a very delicate process to re-enslave. It's not what you guys think. I'm saying they only do the bad until they temporarily get you like, oh my gosh, I need good. And the moment you start doing good, they then present a crossroad. You walk left or right. They want you to walk left this time. And you walk left, then immediately they start bringing the positive. And they keep away all the negatives. So I'm saying the moment that happens is over, guys, because that means that you broke. And now you're not operating freely anymore. Because that means that the next choice you have, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been experiencing so much bad. Let's just keep choosing. No, don't make a mistake right now. Keep going. And that's it. When are we free? When we're free, we get enslaved. It's just that simple, guys. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to get consumed here, but I'm telling you, the United States' slogan is a joke. Land of the free, none of them are free. Because the moment you're free, you get enslaved. The very exact moment it begins. The moment the shackle breaks, the chains break, the process begins all over again. So it's really life, all it is just, hey, it's a constant of breaking free and getting enslaved, breaking free and getting enslaved, breaking free. I know they've been trying to push me. It's like, hey, shouldn't it be that you earn money, right? Because I completely hate money. It's like, because it's the root of all evil. It's the source of all corruption. It is. It's what they use to create all the problems. Just so you guys understand, it's what is used. Requirements, punishments, and set order and timing are what they use to create all the problems in the narratives. Just so you guys understand, that's how they do it. And what is the easiest way to do so? A resource, a currency that can create those on demand. And what is that? Money. What time is also one, just so you guys understand. But see, things that can create that on demand is what they use. So I've identified that. I'm telling you guys, if you remove all money from your life and you can somehow magically survive, right? Because that's what I said, right? You guys are gonna realize, like, holy shit, almost all my problems are vanished immediately. But then what you guys are gonna realize, you're gonna start trying to cause problems in areas that force you to use money. That's when you catch it. You're like, wait a minute. They create intentional problems that the only solution is money. Wait, if money really was a good thing, they wouldn't need to force us to use it. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? They wouldn't force us to use it if it actually was a good thing. So there's been points where I know they've been seasoning me to think that, like, well, maybe you just earn money. You get enslaved temporarily. You earn money. You know how to earn a lot of money. You earn, let's say, like, I'm just going to throw a random number. Just 123,000. And then you quit and you break the shackles and you have to completely detox. So I'm telling you guys, it doesn't matter how good you are or how much you know, you're going to get poisoned and corrupted. You are. Just so you guys know. If you embrace that path, you're poisoned and corrupted. It just is. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't actually walk that path if you're not poisoned and corrupted. I'm just telling you guys, so it is. If you have money right now, you're poisoned and corrupted. You can't continue walking, because if you're not poisoned and corrupted, you're immediately going to be like, disgusting, horrible. There's an aversion to it. You hate it. You want to destroy it. It's immediate. So I'm saying you have to walk that path. You earn the money, and then you break the shackle, and then you have to completely detox, basically put yourself in an isolation chamber. And now you have that, and now you can survive for like 50 years off of that. Like, is that really how the game has to be played? Like, you see, when I think about it like that, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. That's horrible. Because how much bad and how many problems and how many storylines can they craft during that a short time period where you were forced to become poisoned and corrupted and to do that? You guys see, that's where the real root of the problem is. And I'm saying is that if they know that you're planning to break free after, you're like, okay, this is just temporary, I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm telling you guys is that they are going to work overdrive to create as many evil narratives as possible in that short time frame. So you see, is that really the solution? You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, I'm still trying to think, but I don't see an answer. I really don't. I don't. But it's really just the moment we're free. But then you start trying to say this. It's the moment. It's the moment. It's immediate. In every single thing. I'm telling you guys. Doesn't matter what it is. I've talked about it in depth. Mental thoughts, controlling your focus. If you're choosing to do the easy path, the light path of exploration, of consideration, of making new strategies, the moment you do that, I'm telling you guys, is that you're just going to experience negatives. It just, you can test it in any, I say video games, but intentionally don't use the answer. Intentionally try make it more challenging. Intentionally explore something differently. Intentionally try to do with less. Intentionally try to create your own version of something. I'm telling you guys is that the moment you do that, you're just going to experience negatives and torture and bad. It's nonstop. You can defeat it, but you have to defeat it nonstop. And I'm telling you guys, eventually there comes a point where you're like, it's just not worth it. Because I'm telling you guys, is that it's not. It's just not. If you're doing something for fun, for enjoyment, and you already got pretty much the lessons, and you already got the experience, and you already got the positives, you're like, it's not worth suffering and experiencing these negatives and these torture for something that I've basically already figured out and already experienced. Doesn't mean I didn't complete the full thing the way I wanted it. I'm just thinking Subdue and Final Fantasy, like the encounter, but it's all my encounters that I do in my games, and even the things that I do. Like, I already experienced 95% of it. I didn't win doing it my way, but I experienced it 95%. Essentially, I got the full thing. Good enough, I guess. And you just make it just a little bit easier, but you still hear what I'm saying? You made it easier. You're using the answer. You're doing some of the exploiting corruption paths, and you win immediately. You just win. I'm telling you guys, it's not even it's a joke. You just win immediately. And you're going to notice that since you're on your own path of freedom, is that you're still going to try to do some of your own things, but you're just like, no, I can't I'm not going to try my things again. I just need to move on, because otherwise they're just going to keep torturing me here. They're just going to keep trying to cause me bad. And you see, like, once you come to that realization, you're like, it's just not worth it. It's just not. This means you're not free. But you temporarily were free when you did all those things, right? You created your encounters, you created the challenges, you made things more, you were exploring, you were using strategic options. So it means that, is that really all life is? You can temporarily be free, you only can temporarily be free. And then you're going to have to choose the darkness, exploitation, corruption path and get enslaved. And then you have to fight it, to burn all the webs and break all the chains. And like, all right, I'm finally free again. And then for the next time you do something, and then you only can be free for a little bit because you're going to be suffering, experiencing so much bad. Then you're like, all right, time to be a slave again. All right. And then you move on, you make some progress. So basically what I'm saying is, can we only make progress when we're a slave? When we do the evil path, the corrupt path, the exploited path, is that the only time we can make progress? So we experience something, we explore something, we strategically experience something free, but we're going to be experiencing bad, but it's okay. But then when we actually want to accomplish, when we actually want to win, when we actually just want to move, because what am I saying? Actually, I'm saying we just want to continue, because you'd want to continue doing it your way, but you can't. They're not going to let you. So I'm saying, is it when we actually want to continue in something and see what is further down the road that we have to exploit, we have to be a slave, we have to be corrupt, we have to be evil, we have to be bad, we have to use the answers, we have to do that? I don't know. I'm not going to go further down that path because I'm starting a path for myself, but it's a really interesting thing about it, because I'm saying, like, and it's not even because it was a necessity. I'm saying it's because if we don't do so, the risk of corruption is just too great. And what is the risk of corruption? It means that since they keep causing so much bad when you're operating freely, is that, I'm telling you guys, is that if they succeed in preventing and causing so much negatives, is that you're going to start getting corrupt. You start operating worse. You start going to feel hatred, anger, and stuff like that. And that's what they want, because I'm telling you guys, if they can't do that, that can't be the push, the encouragement to finally be like, fine, I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to choose the easy path. I'm going to exploit. I'm going to use money. I'm going to do that. If you still don't do that, I'm telling you guys, you're going to be destroyed temporarily, not permanently, but temporarily, and you're going to start being like, is there a chocolate cake nearby? Oh, man, I just need rest, or I can't do things. You see, they still win that. So you learn that you want to avoid that. And listen to the music at this point. But you want to avoid it. So I'm telling you guys that they win. Because you change things. You deviate from your methods because you don't have a choice. If you don't deviate, you're going to suffer. Or if you don't deviate, you'll never make progress again. Because I'm telling you guys, there's a chance doing it your way, but there's just too many bads. There's just too many problems that could potentially happen. And the moment something starts building, you're like, this is really risky. So you just, because you know it's a mistake. And they're like, is the answer just to keep making the same mistake? I'm like, I said yes, but I'm telling you guys, corruption sources, they're just not worth it. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you guys, it just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. You can try for a little bit, but after a certain point, I'm telling you guys, it's not worth it. It's not even just a mistake. It's pure stupidity. I hate that I'm saying this, but it's real. Don't give in right away. Keep doing your way. But the moment the corruption is beginning, it's over. I'm telling you guys. It is. You don't have to choose the money. You don't have to choose the exploit. But just move on. Complete it. Move on. I'm telling you guys. That's my answer. Because you're not freed in that moment, but life is only about preventing corruption sources. I'm saying, now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, freedom is even less important than just preventing corruption sources. Freedom, you want to try to make your choices freely so that you don't do their story, because if you do their story, they decide at any point if they want you to experience bad or good. They choose. I'm telling you guys, you're just the character in a movie for them. That means that if right now they are kind of like, I don't like you right now, we're going to create some bad in your life. They're going to do that, and you just play it out. I'm telling you guys, it's just that simple. There's nothing you can do about it. If you are free, you can actually prevent that. You see, that's what the benefit of temporary freedom is that you can actually prevent the time periods when you're meant to experience bad and the time periods you're meant to experience good. The problem is we don't know, but you can actually prevent that. But I'm saying, guys, that's the benefit of being free. But the one thing that you should never try to fight against is over an extended period of time, only for a little bit, just so you can experience things and learn the lessons and kind of see how things would play out. But then the actual, like I call it like the win attempt, the victory, when you're going to make progress, when you're going to move on, it doesn't have to be a grand spectacle. It doesn't have to be a memorable experience. You already had it at different time. So for example, like I think of myself, like when I create my encounters in something like in Final Fantasy Balancing or Divinity or any game, or in my video game that I'm developing, like when I'm kind of like conceptualizing like the map and the battles and like the puzzles and like the dungeon and stuff like that, that's my real attempt. But then when I'm actually doing it, just make it whatever, move on. I'm telling you, it's just, that's the answer. That's so sad. It means that like I'm just thinking like I'm Forspoken and all this stuff like that. I'm like, experience the attempts, get close enough. But I guess what I'm really just saying is just am I just going to just start throwing away kill attempts? Like they don't matter anymore? Like when I actually win, I'm just gonna have the easiest guaranteed win. I'm not gonna even have to think. And instead, when we're doing the win attempt, we're just enjoying like the spectacle and how it was created. Like instead of like think of it like you're supposed to respond to variables, but because it's so easy if you choose the guaranteed exploiter path and money and all that stuff like that, and gear and items, is that you don't even have to think. People think they do. It's just they've been conditioned to believe that they're thinking, but they're not. I'm telling you guys, it's so fucking easy. Life in general is if you use what's the normal, what's been conditioned, everything's so easy you don't have to think at all. So I'm saying when you're doing that path and you're just finally making progress and moving on, you don't focus on the actual encounter, you just focus on the other things. Like, oh, how's it designed? Oh, what's the music? What's that? You don't care at all about the gameplay. You don't care about the making choices or responding. You don't care about any of that anymore because it just doesn't matter because you already know the choices don't matter anymore because it's just a guaranteed win if you have tools and the items and the numbers. So then that you start focusing on other things like, whoa, look at that. Whoa, look at that. But you see, the sad thing is if you do it my way, if you are free and you're creating your own experiences and exploring and strategic options and all stuff like that, I'm telling you guys, not only do you appreciate the design, not only appreciate the responses, the thinking aspect, but you still actually pay attention to everything, the whole encounter. That's why I'm saying my way is the solution to everything. They're wrong, I'm right. How do I know? Because I know that I pay attention to the entire thing, the 100% of it, when I'm doing it my way. Despite it being so challenging, despite it being so complex, despite it pushing me, despite it forcing lessons and evolution, I still can pay attention to everything. I can appreciate every single. I just think of it like a girl. Like I'm thinking like my sexy little girl, purple outfit or something like that, or croissant outfit. I can appreciate every single hair, every single speck on her. Not just one thing, but everything. Not just her appearance, not just her voice, everything, while experiencing the encounter. When it's not a guaranteed win, when I still have to think, when I still have to respond, when I still have to do, I can appreciate everything. I'm saying when it's already a guaranteed thing because of numbers and stuff like that, you have to force yourself to try to find anything to appreciate the design. That's how I know they're wrong. That's how I know they're wrong, because there's nothing anymore than there. Because it's too easy, it's too simple, it's too corrupted, it's too poisoned, it's too exploited. But the takeaway is that you can do the Nidhogg where you like, oh, listen to the music. Or like the Alexander Raid or Doom Train. You can appreciate that. You can appreciate the design, the graphics, the music, some of their more creative artistic choices. But I'm telling you, is that you're not appreciating everything anymore. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I guess what I'm really realizing though is that for all the things that I'm going to do is like when I'm doing it my way, when I'm exploring, when I'm temporarily free, those are the real attempts. But then when we are going to make progress and we're going to move on, and we're just like, all right, that's it. It's just, all that matters is just get it over with, just win. Because you have to remove the corruption source as fast as possible. I don't know, it's kind of funny actually to think about. That's my current answer after talking this through. Because I know that there's a lot of experiences that are coming up now in some of the things that I'm doing that I want to get the balance just right. What I mean by that is that I want to create something incredible that really pushes me, lets me do my own way, that lets me develop, while avoiding the answers, while avoiding the exploits, while avoiding the corruption paths. Like I'm thinking of just like, I just like think money, but I'm like, just for myself, like just as a side tangent, I'm like, can I just ask for the dog and be like, can we just buy a dog and that's it, and be done with it? You guys see, like I've always been trying to make it be like a cool path. Like, hey, can I like explore like how to get one for free, or like can do that or something like that? I'm like, it doesn't even matter anymore. When you just are going to do something for progress, it's just like, I even think about like, hey, if I finally decide I want, okay, fine, you know what, let's just get to go. Hey, can someone just give me like $1,000? Can I just pay her $1,000 to her? And it's like, hey, give me my girlfriend. Like I'm saying, is literally it's just something like that, guys. There's no reason to make it a journey. There's no reason to make it a climb. There's no reason to make it a story. There's no reason to make it an exploration. Like, you have the real attempts at another time, and then when you just win, and when you get something, just use the number, just win. That's it. And be done with it. And then there's no corruption. You're gonna be temporarily corrupted, yeah, because you're enslaved. But then you break free again, and you only can be free for a little bit while you do your own way, and then you're like, oh, all right, corruption is present. Time to be enslaved again, and then we break free. I guess that's really my answer. I'm like, can never be free. We're always going to be enslaved. We'll never be able to do our way permanently for an extended period of time. But we can do it sufficiently just to experience what the world would look like if it was our way. I guess that's really what... This is actually really sad. Holy shit. I'm going to end on a very somber note here. This is what I'm going to end. All I can ever do is experience the world in a hypothetical, illusionary state that, because I know I have the answer. If you operate this way, everything would be solved. There would be no problems anymore, but people would evolve and people would learn, people would grow, people would develop. But it's never going to happen. So I can like talk about it like in this situation, and I can conceptualize a world that operates that way. But it's never going to. No matter what, it's impossible. It'll never change that, ever. So you see, like, you get that, and then you get reality, where there's going to be zero development, zero lessons, zero exploration. You're going to have to be forced to find any small seed to appreciate design because it's so horrible in comparison. And that's that. So you see, like, reality is always going to be shit. Reality is always going to be always worthless, but you know how to create your own experience. And the moment you have to use their requirements and their numbers, it's fucking worthless. It's useless. It's shit. But you create your own experience. But you only can use it for a short period of time. But you see, you just do it just to get the so that's how it would be. Alright, well, that's not gonna last. That's not gonna be that way. Temporary freedom. It's as good as it gets. Just temporarily free so you can make your own choices to experience something. See how it could be if the world would allow your way. And then get enslaved. Until the next thing that you want to do that matters. Break free. Experience it in your own way, free. And then get enslaved and move on. I'll see you guys another time.